Video games have come a long way, from proto-computer games of 1950s through arcades in the 70s to the current generation of games with their stunning visuals and immersive gameplay. Most people, when they hear the term video games, would think of explosions, of fights, of button mashing, and while there is a major element of pure fun, video games are not just a form of mindless entertainment. They challenge us to explore new worlds, to solve critical problems, and most importantly, to think about life. In The Last of Us, players take control of Joel. He's a smuggler who's tasked with escorting a young girl, Ellie, across a post-apocalyptic, zombified America. But the game doesn't get straight to that. Instead, it begins much earlier. 2013, a normal day, normal life as Joel comes back from work. His daughter, Sarah, reminds him that it's his birthday and gives him a watch.
Where did you get the money for this?
Drugs. I sell hardcore drugs.
Oh, good. You started helping out with the mortgage then.
Yeah, you wish.
Hours later, Sarah wakes up and strangely, you are in control of a character. Instead of taking the role of Joel, you start off the game as a child. You start looking for Joel and things get stranger and stranger. There is a newspaper reporting a new kind of infection and so does the TV.
What the heck are you?
We've received reports that victims afflicted with the infection show
It's
signs
nearby.
of increased aggression and
Move everybody out of here now. There's a gas leak. Hey, move!
there seems to be some commotion coming from
Get the hell out of here, bro!
What was that? Dad?
Video games create empathy through control. Unlike cinema or books, you're not just looking at Sarah, you are that little child. Her fear, her helplessness seeps into you in a much more palpable way as you try to figure out what is happening.
What's going on?
It's the Coopers. Something ain't right with them. I think they're sick.
What kind of sick?
Jimmy!
Dad?
Honey, come here. Come here. Jimmy! Stay back! Jimmy, I am warning you! No!
Joel's brother, Tommy, joins them as the family tries to escape. Sarah hurts her leg and now you play as Joel. You pick her up, start running through the streets, and you're almost out of the city when...
It's okay, baby. We're safe. We're safe. Hey! We need help.
Stop!
Please. It's my daughter. I think her leg is broken.
Stop right there!
Okay. We're not sick.
Got a couple of civilians on the outer perimeter. Please advise.
Daddy, what about Uncle Tommy?
We're gonna get you to safety and go back where I am, okay?
Sir, there's a little girl. But... Yes, sir.
Listen, buddy, we've just been through hell. Okay, we just need... Shit. Please don't. Oh, no. Sarah. Move your hands, baby. I know, baby, I know. God. Listen to me. I know this hurts, baby. You're gonna be okay, baby. Stay with me. All right, I'm gonna pick you up. I know, baby. I know it hurts. Come on, baby. Please. I know, baby. I know. Sarah. Baby. Don't do this to me, baby. Don't do this to me, baby. Come on. No. No. No, no, no. Please.
20 years pass. Like all good games, The Last of Us often does environmental storytelling. You look around and everywhere you see posters of curfews, barricades, and witness the absolute ruthlessness with which the military imposes its rules. The world has changed. Joel lives with his partner Tess and works as a smuggler. Before throwing the players into action, the game needs to teach them the controls, right?
We need to train them. We have to, expose the player to each thing their character can do, but you don't want to just throw a big text box on the screen like that's your last resort. Like, are there ways through the narrative that you could teach them?
As Neil Druckmann says, a good way to explain gameplay mechanics is by incorporating it in the narrative. As Joel and Tess are on their way to retrieve some stolen weapons, there is an explosion and they have to run back to their base. Here, you learn how to heal your injuries, reload your weapon, shoot with it, and at the same time, you progress through the story. Joel and Tess find out that their stolen weapons were traded with the Fireflies, a rebel group that is fighting against the military rule. Marlene, the head of the Fireflies, tells them that she will double their weapons if they agree to smuggle an unusual cargo.
Whoa. Come on now. Get on up.
Fuck away from her!
Ellie.
Let her go.
Video games tell stories not only through gameplay, but also through cutscenes. Just as writers pay attention to pacing in cinema or novels, video game developers alternate between moments of fast-paced action with cinematic shots of significant moments.
What are you doing?
Killing time.
Well, what am I supposed to do?
I am sure you will figure that out.
Your watch is broken.
The watch, of course, reminds him of Sarah. The beginning sequence is important not only because it shows the early chaos of the outbreak, but also because it establishes Joel's backstory, a father who fails to protect his child. Now, escorting Ellie is not just another smuggling task, it's perhaps a second chance. Soon, Joel and Tess realize that Ellie is infected. Ellie explains that she got the infection 3 weeks ago, but she still hasn't shown any symptoms. She's immune. That's why the Fireflies want her to be escorted to Massachusetts State House, where they hope to create a vaccine using Ellie's immunity. Ellie is what is called a non-player character, or NPC, somebody controlled by the computer. In an action game that involves a lot of fighting, if the NPC is just staying back and hiding behind cover, then they start to feel like a burden. But instead, Ellie is somebody who constantly assists you throughout the game. Joel can boost her over a wall and she can open the gate from the other side. She can throw bricks at enemies to distract them and give Joel an opening. She's an asset, not a burden. You learn to rely on her because in tight situations, she will literally save your life. This is how the developers, Naughty Dog, make you feel a relationship. They don't do it only through cutscenes because that would be just cinema, but they use every aspect of the game to let you experience the growing relationship, the trust, the care between Joel and Ellie. And it's not only the practical help that Ellie provides, it's an everyday behavior that makes you adore this character. For example, sometimes while walking, Ellie would randomly start humming or whistling. Or like in this scene, Joel and Ellie are on their way in a car when Ellie finds some spicy men's magazine in the backseat.
I'm sure your friend will be missing this tonight. It's light on the reading, but it's got some interesting photos.
Now, Ellie, that ain't for kids.
Whoa! How the hell would he even walk around with that thing?
Get rid of that.
Look, hold your horses. I want to see what all the fuss is about. Oh, why are these all stuck together? I'm just fucking with you. Bye-bye, dude.
She's funny and talkative and kind, but this ruthless world affects her too. Near the end of the game, she's captured by a group of cannibals. Joel is almost about to find her, but she defends herself on her own.
Stop!
Fucking touch me!
It's okay. It's me. It's me. Look. It's me.
He tried to...
Oh, baby girl. It's okay.
Oh.
It's okay.
The constant running and killing is taking its toll on Ellie. After this incident, she's unusually quiet. You press the interaction button as you've done throughout the game and...
Ellie, I'm talking to you.
Huh?
She's barely listening.
Oh. Yeah, sure, that sounds great.
You try to boost her over a wall, as you've done countless times, but she hasn't even followed you, and she's just sitting there despondently. It makes you realize that she's just a child.
What?
And it feels terrible to see her being robbed of all the fun and carefree life of being young, and you wonder if she'll ever recover from all of this. And then...
Oh my god.
What is it? Ellie! Ellie!
You gotta see this. Come on, hurry up.
You see this?
Shh, don't scare it.
I won't.
What are you doing?
It's all right. Come here. Hurry up. Come on.
Hey there.
So fucking cool.
The child in her comes back. Her smile, her joy tells you that despite everything, there is plenty of life within her. They finally reach the Firefly's base. But then Marlene reveals that because the infection spreads across Ellie's brain, when they try to study her immunity, she will effectively be killed.
Find someone else.
There is no one else.
Listen, you were gonna show me where...
Stop.
Joel fights his way through the guards, through the surgeons,
This is our future. Think of all the lives we'll save.
through Marlene,
Just come after her.
and without caring one bit if the world burns away, saves Ellie.
Oh, shit.
Just like a father would.
He's carrying her toward pediatrics.
Shit.
Over here.
I'm getting you out of here, girl. I got you. Come on.